So how did we get from the shelter in Big Bear that I turned down to 2.5 years later of being back on my feet? All right. So the shelter in Big Bear was so hard to me. I was lied about what to expect and everything. I decided to leave. And the only thing, again, once again, all I had was my debt. I had like a couple of grand in debt. I had my Chevy van and the clothes on my back. So I called my friend Sue and I said, I'm coming down the mountain. I'm coming down. And, in between this time, my sister called me and said, you were assaulted in the military, weren't you? And I go, well, yeah, they have a record of all that stuff. And she goes, all you need to do is contact any VA hospital, tell them what you've been through, and they will give you some supportive housing so you can get back on your feet. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll do that. And so I came down the mountain. I stayed with my girlfriend for a couple of weeks, but the shelters were all filled. And there was another opportunity for me to go into a different shelter, and this one was in Montclair, California. Now, this doesn't sound like a bad shelter, but I'm going to tell you where things went wrong. All right, so basically they rented me and another person, a total stranger, a 2-bedroom apartment. So she had her bedroom, I had my bedroom, I had my bathroom, she had her bathroom. And oh, this one was straight up ghetto, let me tell you. And basically what it is the apartment was free. All you had to do is go get a job and work the job, give the shelter the money, and after doing it for 3 or 6 months, the shelter would give you your money, the money, and then help you with a down payment for an apartment. And okay, so that sounds really good, doesn't it? Well, that's not how it happened. I was only there for a couple of days, and I think I got a job at like Lobby or Michael's. Of course I did. Yeah, I'm squiggling. But I was only there for a couple of days, and my roommate came up to me and said, you know what? You have a van. I have an appointment in LA tomorrow at 10. And it's like, I can't give you a ride because I have to be in Fontana at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And she was very upset with me. Well, so I come home from my appointment about 4 o'clock at night. And I go to my apartment, and my roommate, I'm coming home with some groceries, and my roommate says hi, and then she leaves the apartment. And I'm like, there's something weird going on. So I go back and I check on my van. She actually had a knife out and was stabbing the tires of my van. So, of course, I called the police and I called the people that set up the shelter, and there was no security gates. So the woman got thrown out of the shelter, which is great, but it meant she can come back on the property anytime she wanted and stab my tires again. So after I got new tires, she only stabbed one, to be clear. I couldn't live there. So now I'm homeless, living on the street again, and living on the charge card, which was not a good thing. And, I remembered at the back of my mind out in Pomona, someone told me like a couple of months ago that for mental health, and I was having a big mental health crisis, basically to just go in and ask for a psychiatrist, tell them you're super duper depressed, and they'll help you. So I drove myself over to Pomona and went to the hospital and told them I was having a mental health crisis. And they're like, gee whiz, due to government funding, unless you can pay for this, your mental health treatment, we can't help you. And I'm like, oh my God. So now even more depressed and feeling so worthless. I mean, I had been betrayed by my husband. I had been betrayed by my shelter. I felt like I had been betrayed by the world. I had no feeling of, I was hopeless. I was totally hopeless. I was gone. And, a few months ago, before that, I had seen the James Bond film, the first one with Daniel Craig in it, to where he throws some guy fluid. Is it antifreeze? He throws them antifreeze and says, either drink it or your enemies will come and kill you. It's your choice. And if your enemies come, it's not going to be pleasant. So I'm in the hotel parking lot. I was spent. And, yeah, very emotional for me. And I was sitting in the back, and it's like, you know what? I guess it's the antifreeze, right? And I'm just sitting there, and I was going to do it. I really was. And then all of a sudden the phone rings, and it's U.S. Vets in Long Beach. And they're, is this Terry? And I said, yeah, this is Terry. Are you busy, or, you have a minute? And I'm like, I was just so close to drinking that fluid. And it's like, no, I got a minute. What can I do for you? And it's like, well, if you're not too busy, can you drive over here to Long Beach, and we'll do your intake now? And it's like, oh my God. It happened. It really happened. Oh my God, I want to cry. I would have been dead. And that's why I was so furious with the one shelter. It's like, they caused all this problem, and if it had been 5 minutes later, I'd be dead. So thank you, U.S. Vets. Thanks for doing an intake, and thank you for actually sheltering me from everything that I needed sheltered from. They honored the Safe at Home program. They took care of me. They really did. They knew my strengths. They knew my weaknesses. They got me the treatment that I needed, which was a lot of mental health treatment. I had been at U.S. Vets, and what it was every day I'd wake up, and from 8 o'clock in the morning, I'd go to the hospital for treatment for my sexual assault. I did that for 12 weeks straight. It was like an 8-hour-a-day job. And then they got me into woodworking therapy, and that was mostly a morning thing. And, it was hard being in a wood shop with mostly men, but I made a lot of friends, and I learned how to work with my hands. Hold on, I'm going to show you what I did in woodworking. So the reason why I'm doing this video is, if you're at your end like I was, just hold on. Hold on one more minute. A plan's in the work for you too, okay? And I couldn't have faced, I had the whole world after me, but use your cell phone and call someone, okay? Someone loves you. Someone really loves you. My son would have been devastated. So someone loves you. All right, what do we have from woodshop? What did I learn how to turn? These are my boss, which I call him. He's like, I've never seen wood turning like you turn wood. So this is segmented wood, and this is one of the pens that I did. Pretty, huh? And I loved working in acrylics. If I could honestly go back to this time in my life, I would do this. I mean, I had no idea, what was going to happen. But, U.S. Vets, first they got me on the government program, the EBT card. They give you $400 a month so you can have gas money and groceries. And believe it or not, after a couple of checks, and I very sparingly spent my money, the first thing I did was buy a button machine. You make buttons with it. And because I found out that they had like a street fair once a month, and it's like, so I went from the $400 EBT card, and now doing the street fair, they would let me use their printer and everything. That every month I made $300, so I was up to $700. And then my EBT card, this is acrylic. Then with my EBT card, it got taken away because first time they helped me get Social Security disability. They looked at me and it's like, you're knuckin' futz, you really are. So that was $1,000 a month, but that's just it. It's like, once I could get a firm footing, I could build myself back up. I actually airbrushed this. Isn't that pretty? And I'll show you some of my bracelets. I learned how to do turquoise inlays. That was fun. All right, that's one of my bracelets. Let's see, does it fit? Oh, it fits. Lovely. And here's another one of my bracelets. I call these my little UFO style ones. All right, so hold on. Just hold on, okay? Something will change, or maybe you'll watch one of my videos. I could have left my husband anytime if I knew about living in my van properly, or that the VA hospital was available to me. So if you had something go wrong in the military, just contact any VA hospital, see what programs they have for you. All right, goodbye from Ma Terry, and I will see you down the road. Thanks, guys, for listening.